Stop. VM spotted him. Back. Well done, VM. Is it a buzzard? Oh no! Turn for me. It looks to be... No, that's... I want you to turn, not show me your bottom. It looks possibly to be a juvenile... Yes, there we go. Juvenile African hawk eagle. We definitely haven't got them yet. Well, there we go. Isn't that exciting? African hawk eagle, a juvenile. And from the sound of things, he was trying to hunt dwarf mongoose who are complaining and really alarm calling now. Juvenile African hawk eagle. Wonderful. Joaquim, don't worry, I haven't forgot about you. Just couldn't resist the African hawk eagle. Now, Joaquim is asking, what European species can we expect to see here? Barn swallows, European rollers, European beetles we actually saw on the sunrise safari. What other species that will come? Redback shrike, which we've also seen today. I'm trying to rack my brains. Now, a lot of our raptors, like warburgs, no, they're further down, not from Europe. Steppe eagles from Russia, Mongolia. Steppe buzzards, Russia, Mongolia. Lesser spotted eagles, India. Give me a second, Joaquim. I will try to remember some more, but there's definitely those few. We're going to head now into the area of the Mawati riverbed. Maybe we're going to get some of those birds that are missing, like orioles and bush shrikes. And while we do that, let's go see how Jamie's romp on foot is going.
Speaking of the various birds, remember earlier I showed you the pepper tick. Let me try and keep this guy. He doesn't want to really keep still. But this is what a pepper tick looks like. I've moved it onto my hand just to give you a slightly better idea. And this is a type of tick that would most definitely be found on birds. They love birds. If they get picked up whenever the bird lands, they'll hop on. I think I've walked through a pepper tick nest, with all of them gathered together around one particular plant. But that gives you a really nice idea as to just how small they truly are. And I'm not a huge fan, I have to be honest. I don't know whether or not that came across all that clearly, but I'm actually really not a huge fan of these pepper ticks. I feel as though we have enough ticks in the world, and I don't need you on me, thank you. And the rest of you can go as well. I don't understand that. I can feel them already, psychosomatically of course, because you actually don't feel the initial bite, but I can feel them already crawling in my socks, and it's making me want to rip my socks off and sort of tear them off and go to scrub my feet and get rid of them. They always bite in between the toes as well. Sorry, I just want to go and see something that I think Herbert has found. I'm going to go start walking across in that direction whilst trying to ignore, when you start to think about itchy things all over you and you're really uncomfortable. Sorry, I'm just thinking or trying to think. From David and Napa, you want to know, why are the flowers here often purple, or usually purple? Are they? Or is it just that we stop and we show you purple flowers more frequently? I'm not 100% sure, David. And we get lots of yellows, we get lots of blue. What's the other colours? White, yellow, pink. Thanks, Chandra. Chandra's whispering colours to me. It's the birding. Chandra described it earlier, I've got bird brain. Clearly, I've got bird brain this afternoon. They come in lots of different colours. I don't think there's a particular skew in the direction of purple flowers, to be honest. I can't think of any that would outnumber it. I actually think there's probably more reddish-orange ones than there are necessarily purple ones. I want to go and see what Herbert has... I see what Herbert has found. There it is. I nearly lost what Herbert had found, but I found it once again. perfectly camouflaged in the form of a grasshopper that looks like a leaf blade. Perfectly like a leaf blade. And that's one of the wonderful things that these bushwalks are really useful for, is giving you a perspective into the lives of these creatures and just how magical the camouflage is at an insect level. You want to come onto my hand, or are you too scared? No, you're going to jump. Are those magnificently powerful back legs of his, built like springs to launch them into the air, and they can launch themselves many times the height of their bodies or many times the length of their bodies, and bound off in a sort of startle display. So they wait right until the last moment. They rely on their camouflage right up until the moment that they realize they've been seen. And then they go to there. That one had John Ray fooled for a second. He took his eyes off it for a moment and it was gone. And no, he's relaxed a little bit around us. He's decided that jumping's not working because we're keeping track of him. Maybe if he keeps still. Now that's a mantid or a grasshopper that would most definitely, sorry, not a mantid, a grasshopper. That would most definitely be a snack food for any one of a number of different birds. Now, speaking of birds, we've got a patch here that we're looking at, and this is now dry. This is before the rain that this bird has come here, but it's come and had a little dirt bath in this impression in the ground.
You missed your impression of a dirt bath.
You missed. Would you like it again?
Yes,
dirt bath. Imagine I had feathers and was in dirt and was bathing. This is the track of a bird having a dirt bath and having a marvelous time doing it, presumably. Oh, speaking of our great birder, let's go across to Brent to see what he has.
Well, look at this. This is not something you see. We've got 3 male plum-coloured starlings or amethyst starlings, violet-backed starlings, all fighting for the attentions of one very drab female who's just above them. There she is. Look at that. So there's the female. Oh, he got a piece of feather from that guy. So there's the female, the very grey, stripy bird, and they're the males who's fighting over her attentions. Oh, look, there's that one male. While those two are focused, he's trying to sneak in there. Sneaky boy. So we were looking for them miles away. We definitely weren't expecting to find them here. But what a bonus. Not 1, but 4. And that's number 55. Isn't that beautiful? Is the Oriole still there, Vim? He's gone. Oh, darn it. We had a choice between the black-headed Oriole or those amethyst starlings. Oh, let's have a look. Just checking if there's a black-headed Oriole who was... Oh, there he is. Yay! Not the European, but we'll take the black-headed for now. I'm really excited to get the first European golden Oriole on camera. Oh, he looks like he's very cold and miserable, and he's found himself a good spot hidden in the leaves there. The black-headed Oriole. Now, there seems to be a lot of birds through this area. Well, let's just go back to that. You see that terminalia there? Let's see what birds are in that at the top left-hand side of it. There we go, 2 birds there. It's the female plum-coloured starling and a yellow-fronted canary. So there's actually a nice view of the female. Sorry, Vim. Of the female violet-backed starling. You can see quite dull and drab in comparison to those shiny boys. But all the boys are arguing over her. Okay. Oh, this is a very productive little spot. Oriole, starling. Hi, Renee. Renee is wondering Do we have ostriches in the Sabi Sands? Indeed we do. Not very common though. Oh, top of the knobthorn. Which sunbird is it? No, it's not a sunbird. It's a redback shrike, which we have. And a starling. I heard a sunbird though. Is he not up there somewhere? Just trying to listen. Sorry, Renee. We do. I've only ever seen ostriches on Djuma once. We normally see them more often on in the south and east of our traverse on Cheetah Plains, but even then it is quite unusual to see them. Okay, slowly through here. Now this is a great birding area because we got on the edge, we've got the river, and we've got the Terminalia and Combretum woodland. So lots of different birds we might find here. Now we're seeing quite a few species we didn't see this morning. They might not have been as active in the wet, and they needed a little dry off before they decided to become active. So our plan is we're going to slowly move our way up the edge of the Mawati River here to Spaghetti Junction, which is a junction of a whole bunch of roads. We're going to drop into the riverbed, and then we're going to head back south in the riverbed, seeing if we can pick up any lovely birds there. We might take a swing past the Styx Pride, see what's happening there, if they've moved or not. I don't know if anyone's checked on them yet, but I'm pretty convinced they're probably still very flat. Hi James. James is wondering, what are the chances of seeing a 5-finch? Pretty good. They're around. They're not as active in this weather. A lot of your little seed eaters like the wax bulls as well, and your petilias are not as active in this cool weather. But there's always a chance they do occur here. Okay. There's a little bit of open grassland here, so we might find some other critters. What's that up ahead? Oh no. Ooh, it sounds like there's a bird party happening on the edge of the river. And we're heading right into that area where there's lots of calling. Hi Sarah. Now Sarah's wondering, do we ever see giant kingfishers here? We did when there was a lot more water. We might see them again once the water fills up, if we get more rain. Where are you hiding? Sounds like he's on that peltiforum. No, there he is. That's what we're looking for. You see him there? Right on the edge of this thicket there. There we go. Now, a lovely, beautiful call. Oops. Oh, sorry, Vim got stuck on a light. There we go. He's just moved it out of the way. Now, that bird will forever remind me of James Henry. It is his favorite bird. It is the white-browed scrub robin. You can hear that beautiful robin's call. Now, they're also incredible mimics, and they can mimic lots of different bird calls as well. And quite nice that he's sitting quite open and prominently calling. Quite often they're a skulking species, which means they flitter and around in the thickets. They've got a very, very varied diet, but almost all invertebrates, and interestingly enough, depending on the time of the year, about 68% of a scrub robin's diet is made up of termites. And then when the termites aren't so prominent on the surface, 66% during the dry season is made up of ants. They sometimes will also feed off some nectar, but that's quite unusual. But it is a beautiful call, the white-browed scrub robin, James's favourite bird. Quick link to Jamie!
We are going to try. Oh, I see you.
No, it's in there.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Is it still in that combretum?
In that computer.
Okay, we're going to try and sneak up on it. Sorry for the rushed start and dragging you away from Brent. We're trying to get
That computer.
the pearl-spotted owl.
Yeah, bending on the branch that bends. The branch to the right that bends.
The branch to the right that bends over this side.
Over this side, yeah.
Am I being blind, Gendre?
No, I'm also blind.
The one on the left-hand side. Oh, there he goes. Okay, let's go around. I see him now. He's in the knobthorn. We're trying to get one of the little owls on camera. It's one of the ones that Brent hasn't managed. Can you see him there, Gendre? It's a really difficult one. I think it might be... I think...
Got it.
You got it. Well done, Gendre. Gendre's managed to get it on camera. Well done, Herbie, as well. It flew down and it obviously grabbed an insect and the drongos started mobbing it. So there you go, a pearl-spotted owl to add to our list of birds that we've been gathering over the entire day. I feel like I've made a very valuable contribution. I haven't managed to contribute any other birds. So I'm really, really thrilled that we managed to get the pearl-spotted owl. I say we. It was very much a team effort. I'm going to try and just see what it looks like around. Gendre, I will come back to you in a second. I'm just trying to see if we can get a slightly clearer view of what it looks like. Herbert's telling me to come and have a look this side. Can you see it through here? Aha. It's going to be a tricky one. Do you want a shoulder, Gendre? Would that help? Very good. It is, if you look at that through there, just under the top marula branch, you'll be able to see him. You might have to duck a little to see him. I'm hoping he might call as well. That characteristic pearl-spotted owl call. No. Right at the top. You'll be able to see.
Still in the knobthorn.
Still in the knobthorn and underneath that marula branch, that one that goes across like this.
Yeah, got it.
You got him. Whoopsie, sorry. In my excitement, I'm bowling Gendre over, which isn't very helpful when he's trying to remain steady. Well done, everybody. A pearl-spotted owlet on camera. The one that makes that beautiful whistling call. There you go, Anita. You wanted to hear the call of the pearl-spotted owl. I don't necessarily do it as well as some of some of the other imitators that I have heard over the years, but that is the call or the whistle of the pearl-spotted owl. And what you often find, the drongos were actually mobbing it as it landed, chasing it away. A fork-tailed drongo is actually roughly the size of a pearl-spotted owlet, at least in terms of height. And what you'll often find is that the fork-tailed drongos will imitate the call of the pearl-spotted owlet as well, as a way of essentially, one of the reasons that's put forward as a reason why they do it is to essentially intimidate. Sorry, I'm getting very chilly all of a sudden. One of the reasons why they attempt to intimidate other pearl-spotted owls by being able to whistle the call and whistle it louder than the pearl-spotted owlets can. So essentially trying to scare them away. They say they do the same thing with cuckoos. I find it a little hard to believe. I think that the birds are so attuned to their own personal calls. They've got such a level of way of detecting the nuances between the various calls that I actually really don't think that they can't tell the difference between one or another. Just my opinion. I think that they can very easily tell the difference between an actual pearl-spotted owl and a drongo imitating one. Jay, you were wondering on the subject of birds, just in general. It was something much, much larger and actually quite, to be honest, a little bit uglier than a pearl-spotted owlet. You're saying we haven't seen a marabou stork for a while recently, and do they leave? Sorry, I'm trying to catch an emergence. It just amuses me that Brent used that as a noun. Sorry, Jay. Give me 1 second. I've lost it. Ah. Found it. Shame. It's okay. It's alright. Here we go. Here we go. It's okay, buddy. Jay, you wanted to know while I collect your surprise emergence, you wanted to know whether or not... Oh dear. He's on my shoe. That'll do. Rather than my hand, it'll do on my shoe. I wanted to show you the red. That's what I'm trying to... Okay, I give up. He's there. No, where's he? There. There. I'm trying to show you the flash coloration on the grasshopper, but I can't do that. Just watch very closely, and I will finish Jay's question. Just watch for the red. You see the red there? Not really. One more time. You ready? Watch for the red. Oh. As it refuses to jump. Right, Jay, just quickly to finish off your question. No, the marabous don't migrate, but they do move from different areas where there is a good food for them to eat. And they are scavengers. There's been plenty here, but maybe they've just been flocking somewhere else. Oh, speaking, of course, of the reasons for one of the reasons why the scavengers have been so well fed over the last few months, let's go across to Byron and some lion cubs.
And have a look at this. These cubs have woken up and they're starting to move around. And this one's climbing the tree. Look at that. So anybody who says lions don't climb trees, you are mistaken. They do indeed. Not very well though, but as you can see. But they do indeed climb trees. Not quite like a leopard, however. But they're very, very active. The females have just moved off, unfortunately. They've moved a little bit further in through the thicket, but these cubs are providing us with a lot of entertainment, and they all seem to be trying to climb this tree, possibly stretching and cleaning their claws a bit. Now, I know a lot of viewers have been concerned about the health condition of these cubs, and I was saying earlier that this is the first time in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks that I've seen these cubs so playful and active again. And they've been chasing one another around for about 10 minutes now, jumping, pouncing. So they're looking very, very healthy. And those who were concerned about the white muscle disease that they had, it appears as if it's all good news for now. I don't want to jinx anything or promise full recovery, but it does appear as if they're doing very, very well. All 6 cubs are here. And they are doing well, so that is very good news for us. And Heather, you want to know how long lion cubs stay with their mothers. So Heather, generally what happens with the female cubs, they will stay within the pride and just allow the pride to grow in size, and those young lionesses will then eventually help the pride hunt and hopefully create a very successful pride with more lions. The males, however, may get pushed out by the dominant males, or if they feel that there's competition or other new males coming in, those males would potentially leave the pride and move on, and that's usually at the age of about 3 or 4. If if not a bit later, maybe 5. Generally speaking, young male lions will start coming into their own and trying to challenge for dominance and territory at the age of about 5 or 6. If there's a coalition or a group of them, then they may do that from that age and potentially chase out older lions and possibly try and set up a territory for themselves in another area and mate with females from a different pride. So it's again, there's no set rule on when young males will get pushed out or if young females get pushed out. I've seen situations where a pride of lions, a pride of lions was actually a very successful pride that had 4 females, and those 4 females gave birth to 8 cubs between the 4 of them. What had happened was there was an eldest lioness, and a new coalition of males came into the area. Four big dominant males came into the area, and they then attacked this pride because those cubs did not belong to them, and they wanted to mate with those females. So the eldest lioness actually took 4 cubs, and it was only the 4 young females, and she took them and fled for safety and got out of the area. The 4 young males, however, were unfortunately killed by the dominant males. And that eldest lioness and those 4 young females, when they eventually grew up, they actually started a pride of their own. And that pride is known as the Mangen Pride now, which is situated, their territory is basically on Londolozi and Singita, so just south of where we are. And they are still around and doing very well. And they were originally part of the Salala Pride, which is also still in that area. So those of you who do follow the pride activity within the Sabi Sands and within the Kruger, you may have heard those names, or some of you may have even seen those prides, the Salala Pride and the Mangen Pride. And originally they all came from the Salala Pride, but those 4 young females split up and ran away with the eldest lioness, who is now dead. But those 4 females have done very well for themselves and had cubs and grown the size of that pride. So that was interesting to see, but that was because they were pushed out by males coming into the area and not necessarily pushed out by the pride. Seems as if they've started to settle down now. And Doodles, you say it's so nice to see the cubs running and playing like this. It really is wonderful. And that little one's got a stick it's chewing on. Just shows you how playful these cubs are. That little cub was not very happy, and you hear the sound that they make even at this young age, and you hear it when they're feeding too. They can make an incredible growl and noise for little cubs like this. They get very aggressive when they are feeding, and that happens throughout their lifetime. Even when they are older and they are hunting, where they're running, chasing the other ones. So, as I was saying, even when they're older and feeding on carcasses, there's still competition between them. Even if it's lionesses or the males, they do get very aggressive around the carcasses because it's survival of the fittest, and they fight for the best piece of meat and as much as they can possibly feed on. I'm not sure where the male has moved to. I think he's just on the other side of the termite mound. I can't see him anymore. The females did move off, or at least 2 or 3 of them I saw moved off. A little bit further west from here. However, Is there some movement? I'm just trying to have a look. It is very thick through here. And I think I can hear a female contact calling, perhaps trying to call these cubs. Now, if we listen carefully, we may hear her contact calling. There's a female heading over in this direction now. I think we'll stick with the cubs for a bit and keep watching them and just wait for this female to meet up with them. Listen, watch, you see they've all heard her. They give this very low contact call, just a oh, oh. There you can hear it. Oh, look at that. So she's just come back, it looks like, to fetch them and take them away. I don't think we're going to be able to follow them, everyone. You can see it's very thick there, but with almost like a grove of trees, I doubt we'll be able to get a vehicle through there. Even with, especially rather, with the roof on at the moment. But what a wonderful sighting. We will try to see where they go. Maybe they come out on one of the main roads. Just see some of the cubs are still a little playful, and there's this little one trying to just stretching against the tree again, off to the right, same tree where they're all stretched in. There we go. I'm just going to try to stay with them a little bit longer until we lose view of them completely. If they do hang around, that would be great, because this interaction is just really wonderful. You can hear that female calling constantly. The male has just got up just through to the right of the termite mound. He's moving away at the moment. Not sure if we'll be able to see him. There he goes. Just through there. Alright, I'm going to sit here for a few more minutes. Let's head back to the bushwalk, or Jamie on bushwalk, and she's going to be heading back to camp soon.
It has been a fantastic afternoon, and I have really truly enjoyed being out here and learning all about, or at least trying to learn all about, the different birds of this area. So a big thank you to Gendre and to Herbie. Gendre for his camera work, Herbie for his amazing spotting skills. It is unfortunately time for bushwalk. This is a terrible pattern I've developed today. Bushwalk to head home as it starts to get darker. But I will see you on the sunrise safari. Until then, let's head back over and see what's out there on the vehicles.
So it looks like this female's come all the way back in there to fetch the cub. I'm not sure if she's going to get him to follow her. Oh, look at this interaction. This is very, very special, everyone. I'm so glad you're... Wow! Gee. Oh, Isn't this fantastic? Sure. These little cubs look like a handful. Let's see now if the female manages to get them to follow her. Listen to the cubs calling. The lioness is moving off now. Let's see if the cubs do follow her. I'm sure they will. But they're being very, very disobedient. Oh. Now, for those of you who are watching who are rugby fans, it looks like these lions can teach the rugby players one or two things about tackling. Because they've been running and jumping and tackling one another very, very well. Hopefully our national team learns a thing or two. And Graham, you wanted to know how muscular their tails are, and they are very muscular. Most of their tail is muscle. Very, very thick and powerful. A very sturdy tail. So most of it is muscle, Graham. Yeah. These two little cubs just don't seem interested in leaving the termite mound. They are very happy, and the mother is calling and calling, but no success in getting them to follow her. Watch, this little one is being stalked by its sibling. Have a look at this. There's a little francolin that just flew off, and the little cub's trying to chase the francolin. But the francolin knows that it's too quick and can easily get away from. Wow. Sorry, it's a bit tricky to view everything that's going on at the moment, but these cubs are all jumping around and pouncing on each other at different times. Okay, there it looks like the cubs have realized that the female was being serious by getting them to move off, and off they go. Look at that. Oh, what an incredible sighting. That was very, very special. It was just great. And off they go. I can just see them disappearing in through that thicket now. Yeah. So it looks like we possibly going to lose them now moving through this dense bush. We really aren't going to be able to follow them. But it was fantastic to be able to spend time with them, and our patience definitely paid off. I think sitting here for a while, knowing it's a bit cooler, knowing that we're possibly going to get some movement and interaction from them, definitely paid off. And we got that incredible sighting. They didn't go and drink like I was hoping they would, but still to get the cubs playing and running and pouncing on one another and even tackling the female at the end there, that was really, really great. We're going to see if we can move out of here and just see where these lions do go. Let's head back to Brent and get an update.
Welcome back, guys. We came to just have a quick look where the sticks were. Thanks very much, Tax. I'll see you more Konzo. I'm going to have a check. But it looks like there might have been a herd of elephants through here that might have chased those two sticks ladies. So this is where Taxon went off-road. So I'm just checking that they're not still flat cat under a bush here somewhere. But where we saw them this morning, an elephant's actually pushed down a tree. Okay. So I'm assuming from Tax's vehicle tracks that they were sleeping right here somewhere. And I think if we can spot an Eremomola, we can spot a lion. So they might have moved off a bit. So I'm just going to have a look on the main road quickly. See if there are any tracks of them crossing. Okay, whoops, the daisies. No footprints here. Maybe they didn't move too far when the Ellies chased them. Depends how upset the elephants were. Just look carefully here. Well, it seems like the road maintenance teams were out in force today, but no sign of a track there. So they could still be on our side. Let's just check very carefully. Ground's quite hard, but I think we won't miss a lion track here. Oh, that's... what is that? Is that a stump, Vim? Yeah, it's a stump. It's a stump. Here's a big game path. Conundrum. I thought we would just take a quick break from the birds. See if we could see a big cat of our own. So I'll show you where we found them this morning. Or where Rex found them and we saw them. Okay, now let's have a look here. So, we were trundling along here, coming to see the Styx Lions with Rexon, and that tree was not across the road. The lions were lying right over here, over there, so I think they got rudely interrupted by an elephant. Now, which way did they run is another question. We've checked up here, let's check this way a little bit. Now, if they have full bellies and they're not particularly fussed, they sometimes don't run too far from eddies. Oh, as I said, it looks like the elephants came from the south. So, logically, one would say that possibly they chased them north. Hold on, Vim. What was that? That looked like a honey badger disappearing. Hang on. Not a lion, but something interesting nonetheless. Where? Oh, not a honey badger. but it's getting a bit dark. Is it still there? Oh no, sorry, our camera's having a minor malfunction. Oh, whatever it is gone. Oh. At high speed. Okay, well, let's keep checking for the lions. Let's see, there we go. This is a spot where I might be able to see some tracks. Okay. The elephants have knocked over a lot of trees on that road. Let's just have a look. There's some softer soil here. No lion tracks. The mystery of the disappearing Styx lioness. Hopefully we can solve it shortly. Oh, the elephants have made... Oh! Big mess in this area. What's that there? Does that look like a lion to me? I'm not sure. Could be. Was it a pale looking stump? It's a pale looking stump. Okay, we're going to do one last little dash through here. Seems like we're having a bit of a problem with our camera. We do apologize if we don't find the lions in the next 10 seconds. I think we'll go back and see what Byron's up to, but let's go. Come on, lions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, no lions. So let's go see what Byron's up to.
Kirani. Hang on, I just want to see everyone. I think maybe I've come around towards a road and a clearing. I'm hoping that these lions head out in this direction. Maybe we get to see them again. Hang on. Just going to go forward a little bit further. I think I saw the male through the thicket, and I'm sure these other lions... Here we go, straight ahead. Found them. Fantastic. I thought they're going to head in this direction, come out into the open, and here comes the whole pride. You're going to see them shortly. Oh, there we go. Oh, 2 females, the rest seem to be following. Oh, isn't that great? There we go. Now at least we get to see them. Oh, what bird was that? Shucks. So busy watching the lions, forgetting about our birding. I'm sorry, I do apologize. It actually looked like a martial eagle, but a very brief view of it. I'm not sure. Here comes another lioness and some cubs. They're going to be coming into the frame shortly. Oh, look at these 2 lionesses fight or playing. Oh, fantastic. And we just spoke about this. Remember I said you do still get lionesses in cool weather when they wake up and they get a bit active, and they are very playful at times. And it's great to see the adults behaving this way. I can't tell you how happy I am to see these lions behaving like this. They seem happy, and they just... they look rejuvenated. I think that's the best word to describe it. They really do. Almost like a new energy. And the cubs and everyone's joining in. Watch. Oh, yes, look at that. Oh, this is wonderful. Wonderful. Isn't that great? I'm going to try to stick with them there and see where they go and where they move. They're really, really fantastic. I'm so happy. You can hear the little cubs are vocalizing again a little bit, soft little calls. What I'm going to try to do is catch up with those females quickly, just because there's so much interaction between them. They're very, very playful. Oh no, there's... So, Sheehan, you want to know how a lion or leopard mother get their cubs, or tell their cubs to stay in an area if they are moving off to go and hunt. So I think with the lions, it's usually a oh. I'm just joking. It's funny. They do communicate. They do communicate with them, and they will give different calls, and it's instinct. I think the cubs just know when the lionesses are serious to go off and hunt. They know to stay in an area, and the lionesses will call once or twice and move off, and then the cubs know they need to stay there for safety, and they wait there until the lionesses come back to call them. Same thing with leopards. A leopard, and I've seen many times leopards will take their cubs into an area, a thicker area, and they will contact call once or twice, leave them there and move off and go and hunt. So it is instinct, it is a bit of communication from the adults to the cubs, but it's instinct for them to just stay in that area and stay there because they know that is where they're going to be safe. Oh, listen to that sound. Trying to suckle from that mother, from that female. Now, I did get a glimpse of the male earlier, but he was lying further back. It's almost like he thought, well, maybe he's not going to follow the pride unless they hunt something fairly soon. He may join up with them a little bit later, probably follow them. This is great. Chi-Town Connie, you want to know, how does the pride decide to move? Those lionesses unfortunately just chased each other off, but through some thick trees. It's difficult to view them through here. I'm going to try and move and catch up to those lionesses because they seem to be very active. But getting back to a question now, it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult to tell exactly why they decide to move. Perhaps they've just decided that they've rested enough and that they are now ready to move on, continue. It's cool enough that the temperature isn't too hot for them to move around, and one or two lionesses could decide. There's not necessarily one lioness that decides every time. Sorry, I'm just trying to get out of here quickly. So, as I say, it's very difficult to say if there's an exact moment in time. I don't think so. I think it's just a case of when they all decide it's time to get up and move, or one decides to get up and move, probably stimulates the others or gets the others interested in moving, and then they head off. There we go. One female with 2 cubs. The other cubs are coming and heading towards her. Cat from Tampa, you want to know, are these lions anywhere near the dead hippo? No, Cat, they're not. They're very far away from that area, actually. So I don't think they're going to find the carcass unless they move around quite a lot tonight. Then there might be a possibility. This is really, really amazing. Get a bit of light on there. How's that? A bit better. Walking over that lioness. Oh, this is really, really amazing. And isn't that great? Wonderful. Our patience paid off. Remember I said so. I've got a feeling they're going to move around and do something for us, and we could not have asked for better interaction than this, to see how playful lions can be. And it appears I think I can just see the male coming through. There's another lioness coming through there, but the male is following. He's behind some trees now. We can't see him. Alright, I think where did that male go now? There he comes. Let's just have a look at the male following through. There he comes. He's got a little bit of a limp. Now, that I don't think it's necessarily a bad injury or anything. Sometimes these males, they get a bit older and they move around. They do occasionally hurt their paws. Perhaps if they are hunting, and also they get really stiff when they end up sleeping and resting for most of the day. It takes a while for them to loosen up and warm up, and that could possibly be what's happening with this male. I don't think it's anything serious. I've seen male lions get up and limp for a while many times before. I don't think it's a serious injury, so no need to worry, everyone. And there he goes. There he goes. All right. That's fantastic. Wonderful. I'm going to see where these lions go now. We are very close to our northern boundary, the Buffelshoek cut line. So let me just see where they do go, but I think they are going to be crossing soon. Let's head to Brent for an update, and I'll keep an eye on these lions for a short while.
Well, it is getting darker. The lions are on the move, and that's very exciting. VM and I are throwing a roll of the dice to see if the Queen of Djuma decides to come back. So we're going very slowly up our southern boundary. Of course, we'll start looking for some nocturnal bird species shortly. And we have we've gone past our 50 for the day. We're actually on 57 on camera today, which is incredible. And that's just on Rusty. So with Jamie and with Byron, we did get over 60 birds. So well done us. Yay! Now, wouldn't it be nice to add some bonus hours to get the Rusty list up to 60? We went and had a look where the Styx Pride were. They were gone. It looks like they got chased by elephants, as I was saying, and we can't see where they went. Oh, there's a car coming. Let's turn our lights off. Now, oh, who's that? Is that Ephraim? Let's see what Ephraim has to say as he makes his way back down to Cheetah Plains. Ah, hey! Sharp, where you been for?
You have nice pictures today.
Always nice pictures. Yes, today we've been only looking for birds.
For birds?
Because it's birding big day, and we've put 50 on this vehicle 57 different species of bird on the camera today.
Yes.
Yes.
Will you tell them because they are new?
Well, sorry, we are live at the moment, so everyone just give me a second. So we're doing a live safari. You can find us on the website WildSafariLive.com or on YouTube at the channel Safari Live. So you can see all the animals you've been seeing here every day at home. We do it 6 hours a day. And you can even ask us questions by using the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Well, hopefully we'll hear you, and just let us know if you do send us questions. Say, oh, we met you, we were at Cheetah Plains, and I'll answer your question. Okay, there we go.
It was nice to meet you anyway.
Yes, perfect, I will do. I'll send it through to the lodge. Yeah, if knows it, I'll send F a message. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Lovely to meet you. Enjoy your rest of your safari. Bye. Sorry about that, guys. Always nice to meet someone who's possibly going to become a new Safari Live fan. From Germany would be my guess. And from the accents, what do you say, Vim? Sounded German, yes? So, no sign of the Queen just yet. But, of course, we haven't given up on our birding endeavours. And unfortunately, I don't want to tell you, but I have to tell you because I'm quite excited about it. While we were off air, I saw a first for me in the Northern Sabi Sands. It was a very, very quick glimpse of a highly mobile bird, and it is the first time I've seen them in the Northern Sabi Sands. First time I've seen them in the last 2 years since I've been here, or nearly 2 years. What are we looking for? And it is an incredibly beautiful bird and an incredibly savage bird. And where's a picture of the said savage? Oh dear. Oh, maybe not that one, not that page, not that page. Here we go. Now they are quite distinct, and it's definitely the first time, and I wonder whether it's the rain that's getting them moving. So there we go, the peregrine falcon. And it flew over us. It actually was trying, from the looks, it was trying to catch a red-crested koran, and was plummeting to earth. So of course that is the fastest bird. It reaches terminal velocity, of course not while it's flying, but when it dives. So how they hunt is they will fly up above, they'll see something below, they close their wings and they go down literally at terminal velocity, so at over 200 kilometers an hour, and they just smash into whatever there is, and that's what enables them to catch often birds much bigger than themselves. Now, for those of you who live in big cities in the US and in Europe, if you look carefully in those skyscrapers, there's actually in quite a few places, London, New York, there are peregrine falcons nesting and living, mostly feeding off the flying rats, the feral pigeon, or common pigeon, I'm trying to think of its other name, feral pigeon we call it here. But yes, so that's what they mostly feed off in the big cities. I think they're also in Paris. I know for a fact New York. I know for a fact London, Paris, Madrid. I'm trying to think where else. Somewhere in Germany as well. So it's always awesome to know that one of those apex avian predators has managed to survive in the hustle and the bustle of Manhattan. Now I've got a few favorite spots for owls and nightjars, so we'll start making our way towards there. Well, Catherine says that the friendliest bird in Canada is a red-capped chickadee. I've never seen one of those, and she wants to know, what do I think the friendliest bird in South Africa is? The yellow-billed hornbill. Not so much friendly as annoying, and when you live in a camp they become very used to people, and they are an irritating alarm clock when you don't want one. So on the odd morning that we get to have a little lie-in, which means we sleep generally till the sun comes up, and sometimes we manage to sleep beyond that. When we do that, well, at our house and at Inga's house, what happens is the yellow-billed hornbill lands on your doorknob, looks at himself in the glass and thinks he's got a bit of competition. So you get waken up just after sunrise, which is, as you know, just after 5 o'clock, when you're trying to have your little nap, with a duck, 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 duck. But friendly, I don't know. I don't think any of the birds are particularly friendly. We've got some savage birds. There's a whole load of domestic geese that live at Zoo Lake in Johannesburg that would eat your feet off if given the chance. Oh, Vim, friendly bird? A barbet, yes. But probably the birds that become the most relaxed in human present are all the birds that live around safari camps or human habitation. So your hornbills, starlings, babblers, buffalo weavers, and there we go. And there's, as I said, buffalo weavers, and what else? Oh, francolins, yes. The Natal and crested francolins become very, very relaxed around the camps. And it all depends on which part of South Africa. Now, to give you an idea, Southern Africa has 940 odd bird species. I think North America doesn't even have half that, if I remember correctly. So there's lots of friendly birds depending on where you are in South Africa. Or maybe the jackass penguin or the African penguin that live sometimes in people's gardens in Simonstown in Cape Town. They're quite friendly and can be quite a pain as well if they get into your rubbish, make a big mess. But I suppose it's quite a difficult one. I've never thought of birds as friendly. Hi Zoe. Now Zoe is wondering what would be the smartest bird in South Africa, and unfortunately for I actually think one of the smartest birds in South Africa isn't even from South Africa. It's become feral in Indian minor. So it's a starling species from India that has become feral and is actually a problem bird in South Africa. That's probably one of the smartest birds. And then another bird from India, also very smart, the Indian house crow. That's also an exotic species. But any of your crow species are generally quite intelligent in comparison to the rest. I think probably one of my favorite and not so known out of considered intelligent bird species is the green-backed heron. Now they will actually catch insects like a grasshopper, and it'll go perch on a little flowing stream. They do this in the Okavango quite commonly, and he'll pop the grasshopper down and let it drift down, waiting for a tilapia to come up, and as the tilapia comes up he grabs the fish. That's quite clever. Green-backed heron. And of course all your parrot species are generally quite intelligent, so your brown-headeds, grey-headed parrot, Cape parrot, Mayor's parrot, Ruppel's parrot. Vim, what do you think is the smartest bird? Yes, Vim agrees, the Indian myna. So it's one of the few starling species that can actually be trained to talk as well. But as I said, they're actually a problem bird here. They really attack our indigenous bird species and cause a lot of problems. But they're generally only around very built-up areas, towns and cities. Although I have seen one at Arathusa. at the dam and at the airstrip. So no sign of the queen around there. I wonder where she is. There was no sign of her in the east either. Oof, getting chilly. Hi Lucas. Lucas says he's read that the wattled crane, which is actually an endangered species in South Africa, will only ever raise one chick, even though it lays 2 eggs. With a lot of bird species, you'll find that is the same, especially with any predatory bird, the raptors. They practice something that's called Cain and Abel syndrome, or siblicide. So generally the first baby out of the egg will kill, and in some cases eat the second egg as it hatches. Now we're in that quiet period where there's very few birds calling, but the insects have started. So if we just keep quiet and listen, and there could be the odd frog starting as well. Oh, Nat.Geo calling. Up ahead. There's a fiery neck Nat.Geo calling in the distance. Well, I try go find the fiery neck Nat.Geo so we can try and get to the miracle number of 60 on Rusty today. Let's go see what Byron's up to.
So we haven't had much luck just yet with any nocturnal animals. I think it is very, very cool, so possibly not too much flying or crawling about. Now I'm in an area where we have seen quite a few bush babies in the past, so I'm hoping that maybe we spot 1 or 2 jumping around. Who knows, maybe we get lucky. Scanning very carefully for those very large red eyes, but it doesn't seem like they are awake yet. And it is difficult to spot them. Would be great to find a chameleon or a scorpion again. Let's see. Or maybe even a little genet or a civet walking around. That would be great. I'm really trying to get the art of multitasking, driving, spotlighting and talking, and maybe I'm getting better at it, but it does take a bit of practice, that's for sure. Sure, not too much out. Symbols, you want to know if we've heard a wild parrot say anything like domestic parrots can. No. The wild parrots that we get out here, they've got very high-pitched whistling calls. I've never heard them mimic anything out here. Don't think these wild parrots mimic at all. So not like domestic parrots. Well, in this area, I mean in Africa, the parrots that we get, especially the brown-headed parrots and that, all have a distinct whistling call, but they don't mimic and don't. I've never heard one speak, that's for sure. Yes, Now, Bobs, you made a comment about Brent's discussion he was having with the smartest and the cleverest, or the smartest and friendliest birds around, and you said, what about the honey guide? And I have to agree with you. That honey guide's incredibly smart and very friendly. It'll come look for you, and you saw the other day, well, hopefully you saw, it took me right to a beehive. And it's incredible how intelligent those birds are, to get somebody or something like a honey badger to follow them around, to take them to food or take them to a beehive so that they can get some of the honey and the bees and the insects that are in there, and then obviously we benefit from it, get some honey, just like the honey badger will. Oh dear, not much going on here at the moment. Looking very carefully, but I think because of this windy weather, cold windy weather, probably not going to have too much nocturnal wildlife. And you could still see the odd chameleon holding onto a branch, but the weather and the climate definitely affects the animals, and they don't move around as much. See if we can find a scorpion here. Maybe we're lucky. Any scorpions? No scorpions. Let's check this tree maybe quickly. There's a lot of insects calling at the moment, and if we stop and listen, you might hear them better. And those are little cicadas making that noise. Up in the trees above us, very high-pitched ringing sound. There's still a cuckoo calling, a Jacobin cuckoo calling in the distance. Trying to hear if we hear any owls, perhaps. That would be great. Actually, now with it getting a bit darker, I want to perhaps check that other area again. Just where we usually see those bush babies. Maybe we do get like, yeah, you can hear those cicadas all sitting up in the marula tree above us. We've got to find something. I wonder when we're going to get more rain. So predictions for rain have been pretty high for this weekend. Said we're going to get a lot of rain, so it could be interesting. If it does rain, oh, scrub hair, there we go. Little scrub hair, stop. Oh no, no, little shy scrub hair, there it is. Just off to the, just disappearing in there. There he is. Just disappearing. Little scrub hair. That's quite a young one, it appears to be. Not quite fully grown. They get a little bit bigger than that. Junkie, I just wanted to confirm your question. Sounded like you wanted to know if mosquitoes are common in this area. And indeed, we have lots of mosquitoes, and this area that we are in is a malaria area, so we do have to be careful, but it's a low risk area, very low risk area. So it's not. Well, we are still very, very careful, but the mosquitoes, there are plenty of mosquitoes in this area. Okay, we're going to continue our search for small nocturnal animals. Let's head to Brent for an update.
Unfortunately, we could not find the fiery neck nightjar. It did a disappearing act. I was just trying to listen for it again, but we'll keep moving. And I was hoping to possibly hear the burp of a scops owl that we could try and hunt down, or any owl calls for that matter, but alas, all we hear is the chit-chir of a woodlands kingfisher. I was also hoping we might get some frogs out tonight, but alas, no froggies. Hi, Jay. Jay says there's about 1,200 species of birds in India, and he'd like to know how many I think visit South Africa. Well, the one I know that visits South Africa for definite is the Amma falcon, and they migrate through India in their massive flocks of thousands. There used to be hundreds of thousands. They breed in South Africa, and they migrate all the way through the open grasslands. Now, one of the biggest problems is actually people catching them for food with big nets. So catching them when they roost, they put up a net while the birds are sleeping, and as they wake up they grab. Now they are a falcon, but they're an insectivorous falcon, so they eat locusts and mostly locusts and grasshoppers actually. And quickly, Byron.
Yes, look what we found, a beautiful genet. High up in the tree. Very high up, but very strange to see one that high. And so exposed, it's right out in the open. What I'm going to do is, it seems very relaxed. Let me try and move forward a little bit for us. See if we can see more of the body. Hold on, just going to keep an eye on it. Oh, that is wonderful. I've not seen a genet for ages. Hello. Oh, beautiful. Oh, there's that little one. It's got a black tip. Now, can I tell you a little secret? I can never, ever remember which one has got a black tip and which one has got a white tip on the tail. I think this is the large spotted genet. Okay, can you remember? So those viewers who have seen quite a few genets around, I always forget it. For some reason, it never sticks in my head. I don't know why. How beautiful is that little creature? Okay. Fortunately, I'm right. The black tip is the large spotted genet. And look at those little ears moving around. Now, a lot of people often refer to it as a genet cat. It is not a cat, everyone. It is not a cat at all. So it's not part of the cat family. These little genets fall in a different family group known as Viveridae. Genets and civets. And they are nocturnal, move around trying to feed on insects. This little one is so beautiful. That is such an incredible view of one. Oh wow, that is really, really great. That has made my day. Promise you, that is the highlight of, I think, it must be my, I think the last week at least. Something so different. I love these little nocturnal animals, and because you don't get to see them very often. Well, this and actually the two male lions that were roaring next to us the other night, that is definitely a highlight. So I think these two, both events in the evening, which is great. I wonder if this little Genet doesn't live in this tree, perhaps. Maybe it's hollowed out somewhere and it sleeps inside there during the day. It comes out at night to look for insects and look for food. Notice I'm not shining the spotlight directly on him, just off to the side, because I mean, I don't want to harm his eyes in any way. So I'm actually just shining on the tree, but we can still see him very clearly. And you can see his eyes are wide open, so the spotlight's not bothering him at all. I'm glad all of you are enjoying this as much as I am. James, large spotted and small spotted genets form a very similar niche in nature, but it will be different, definitely. And you know, they possibly just feed on slightly different insects. They're slightly different in size. But a similar niche. And a niche, for those of you who don't know, a niche is just the role that they play in an ecosystem. The role that an animal plays in an ecosystem, that is known as the niche. So these little genets probably fill a very similar niche, even though they are slightly different subspecies of genet. And look at those ears. Now they can hear little insects and that moving around and flying around. Jackie, you say maybe I should remember it like this, that the black tip, the BLA, and large LA genet. So black, large, I think so. Jackie, you know what, that's probably going to stick now. Thank you very much. And it's funny, it just takes something like that, somebody to point it out, and Jackie, I'm almost certain I'm never going to forget it anymore because of that, so thank you. I can hear bats flying around too. I wonder if you can pick it up on the ambient sound that we've got. Very high-pitched. High-pitched whistling sound. Those are little bats. Probably little epauletted bats. I'm not too sure. There are many different species of bats around here, but potentially one of those. Alright, well, we've had such a wonderful view of this little genet. I don't want to disturb him anymore with the spotlight. He's posed beautifully for us, and it's very seldom you get such an incredible sighting of one. So I'm going to take the spotlight off of him and allow him to continue on his nocturnal behavior for the night. Wasn't that incredible? That was such a great little sighting. It just shows you things happen when you least expect it. And that little genet just climbed down and is moving off. Grumpy old man, you want to know, is that's a funny Twitter handle. Is this the same as the Cape genet? No. A lot of people pick up on these names of these little species and they change from Cape to... No, I don't... Okay, we don't have much time for me to find it, unfortunately. Oh, jeepers. But I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'll have a look and I'll tell you in the morning. Thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you've had a wonderful drive. Thanks to the ladies in Final Control, Brent and Jamie and VM and Jandre, and of course to Genet. Good night, goodbye everyone. We'll see you on tomorrow's Sunrise Safari.